So hello and welcome to Active Ideas. This is a UTMB Mandatory Kit video and we're going to dive into everything you need, whether it's the shoes you're going to put on, the clothes on your back, or even like which watch you're going to use to help navigate you throughout that course. First things first, this Salomon duffel is massive. You can get different sizes. This is the 90. I recommend get yourself the biggest duffel you can find because they compress nicely. It also comes with on one side where you can put like dirty clothes, your muddy shoes. They come with shoulder straps, they're waterproof, and they've got all of your gear in. And look how cool this looks, man. I just absolutely love this. Highly recommend it, and let's get all the kit out. So the next thing out of the red bag, we've got the tech. I do recommend putting your tech, especially if you've got lots of wires, in like a see-through bag. This is a bag I've got off my nan, so don't judge me. The first thing I've pulled out in tech are the Sunto Wing headphones. Got a review on my channel if you want to see how these headphones are, but basically they come with this battery pack, so they also flash as well. So let me just turn them on. This is good to let other runners know where you are, and yeah, it's just cool that they flash. The battery life is excellent, the sound quality is excellent. If it's really cold weather conditions, this is a cool piece of tech by Silver, and the reason is because it comes with this extension cord. So this is a massive extension cord. You can shove the battery in your Salomon pack, and then you can connect the battery to your Silver head torch. So that's what this little lead is here. And once they're connected, you're good to go. It'll turn on, and yeah, you're going to get 550 lumens from Silver. So it's not as bright as the Petzls and the Fenix head torches, but you do get a rear flasher as well. It's also hybrid, so you can open up this little compartment and drop different batteries in there. So I've got a Petzl battery in there. It works, as you can see. Like, this works absolutely fine. You can slide the flasher on. It comes with Silver batteries, and also AAA batteries work in this. So yeah, this is a cool piece of tech, I think, that offers you a lot of versatility in cold weather where these battery packs on the headband die really quickly. You get the extension cord with a massive battery pack. So check out the Silver head torch. The next thing we're going to look at for tech is the watch, and we've got a little giveaway going on here, so make sure you stay tuned for this giveaway. So two watches that I do recommend. I've used the Sunto Vertical for lots of training, lots of backyard ultras, and when I've run 100 miles as well, have the Sunto right there beside me. The battery life on this watch is fantastic, and what I like about it is the comfort on the Sunto Vertical is much superior compared to the Chorus Vertix 2. So I've used the Chorus Vertix 2 or 2S for the spine race. Fantastic. It saved my bacon. The navigation was really good on it. The comfort on the Chorus isn't quite there really. A few differences between the two as well. You're going to get like solar charging on the Vertical. Yeah, in terms of battery life, these are the two watches I recommend. They're probably the cheapest you'll find as well. Another watch you've probably heard a lot of people talk about is the Garmin Enduro 3. Feel free to check out my YouTube channel about that watch as well. That's another like super high battery life ultra running watch. And another watch I might be taking as well, and this is for if you want to save some money and you're on a bit of a lower budget, is the Sunto Race S. So we've got the Courtney Dalwater strap on here. So this one actually glows in the dark. Yeah, this is the giveaway. So if you are keen to win yourself a UTMB strap, if you fancy this, comment UTMB down below. Once all of my Arc of Attrition videos are out, I will send this out to whoever the lucky runner is, but this is the UTMB band. So the next thing you'll need are battery packs, and I've got a couple of options here for you. What we've got here is a high capacity battery pack, and what I have here also are two juice packs as well. And these are going to be in my drop bag, and one I'm going to carry in my Salomon pack. And what you can see here is this little connector. So on the end of a USB-C cable, you can get yourself like an adapter, and these adapters you can buy for Coros, for Sunto, and for Garmin, and basically it means you've got spare kind of battery chargers for your watch as well. The last thing in my tech is the Zippo hand warmer. So if you are someone who runs cold, this is a hand warmer that you can take with you that's not going to explode in your pocket, so it's not a battery powered one. You just put Zippo fuel in it and basically heat it up, and this one stays hot for like 24 hours. So that's going to keep you good for most of your Arc of Attrition race. It'll get you through the first bits anyway. You can always top it up again when you get to checkpoints. You put the Zippo fuel in, you heat the element, you chuck it in this really soft kind of Zippo pouch, and yeah, this is really lightweight. It's not a heavy piece of metal, it's like really lightweight, and you can pop this in your pack, in your hands. This is for cold weather again, a cool piece of tech that if you're on the slower end of the race, might just help you get through the night basically. So the first thing on the kit list is the waterproof jacket. I've got two jackets here actually by Innovate. I'm not a sponsored athlete at all by any means. I bought these with my own money. I just like how they fit me, and they're really lightweight. So yeah, this is the Storm Shell V2 jacket, and this is like your more heavy duty. It's got a chest zip pocket. It's got an adjustable hood. And if you check the Innovate website, they actually have lots of sales on quite frequently. I bought this for £70, but my favorite, I swear, my favorite rain jacket is this one here. It's called the Innovate, I believe, the Race Shell. And honestly, I used this for the spine race and it was just so good at keeping me dry. So we had some torrential rain. It was like one of the worst summer spine races in 2023. And this thing, it doesn't look like it's going to keep me dry, does it? But I'm telling you now, this is the most waterproof jacket I've ever owned. And my work, I used to work for a company called Go Ape, so that's out in the forest, out in nature, every day, all day. We've had some really good gear. We had mountain equipment gear, we had the North Face gear, and some of our jackets were like £300 waterproof jackets. I'm telling you now, this £70 to £80 jacket by Innovate is the most waterproof jacket I've ever owned. It zips up like this. There's not really any adjusting the jacket in terms of the hood and the fit, but I've just found it's fit me so well and it's kept me warm. The durability as well, I've like scratched this on thorn bushes, I've ran through bushes with this on, I've washed it multiple times, and it has come to the end of its life cycle, but I've used this for so much training and so many events for like 2-3 years, and it's the best piece of gear I've ever bought. Like, I absolutely love it. But yeah, I found Innovate to be much cheaper than the competition. They offer really good gear. It's more premium than you're getting from like Harrier, but for a very similar price range, really, to be honest. If you find a good deal, get yourself an Innovate jacket, and I recommend these two. So the next thing on the kit list is the synthetic insulation, or the gilet, and this is the one I definitely recommend. It's the one I'm going to be using for the arc of attrition. And what I like, it doesn't have a collar, and that's great because if you suffer with like skin rashes and stuff, especially when you've got these packs on, it just protects the shoulders without causing extra irritation to the neck. It's super lightweight. It offers some good protection from the cold, from the wind. It has zippable pocket storage at the front, but also the back as well, a little bit like a cycling gilet. And because this is synthetic insulation, no matter how wet this gets, it's always going to keep you warm within your layering system. Now the next thing on the kit list is the 2x warm layer. This is a way that I've managed to get extra warmth and also drop the weight, so I highly recommend you do what I'm doing. Obviously each their own, but what I've opted for is 2 long sleeve base layers. They have to be 110 grams. These are the best performing base layers I've ever used, and this whole video isn't sponsored. This is just me being honest with you about how I've managed to, you know, get my spine race buckle and how I got my arc of attrition buckle as well. Neither of them come easy, and I think it comes from good decisions. So this is the Adidas Runner t-shirt. It's a silver version here. I've got the black version there. If you can find one of these on the internet, I'm telling you now, buy it. Now UTMB won't let you pass a kit check with just these 2 base layers. You also need some windbreakers. So I've got 2 options here for you, and unfortunately if you do go down this route, you will need ×2 of your windbreakers. Now that sounds like, oh, I'm starting to pick up weight here, but look at this. Look how tiny this thing is. So this is the OMM, I believe it's a Sonic Spock. I love this. It's kept me warm on horrifically cold days and horrifically cold ultra marathons. Somehow as well, it's really resistant to the rain. So even if it is raining quite badly, this is gonna keep you dry for quite a long time, even though it's not a true waterproof layer. This specific jacket that you can see is the full zip, and yeah, I recommend you get the full zip. It just offers you more kind of like customization, how you kind of layer everything up. Again, you're getting thumb loops on this jacket, which is great, and the combination of the thumb loops from the base layer plus the Sonic Smock, this is one of the best pieces of gear that I've ever purchased. And again, this combination is going to work out a bit cheaper than buying like these expensive fancy warm layers. Going up to this next windbreaker, this one is going to break the bank a little bit, but it's something that I recommend. It's a piece of gear that I've tested for 2 years, and this is the Solomon Sense Flow jacket. So it's another windbreaker, but it's just offering you a bit more protections. It's got clever Octaloft insulation, which is super lightweight but incredibly warm. I've used it on some cold nights, and yeah, just really rated this jacket, to be honest. Again, used it for many ultra marathons. Check out my YouTube channel if you want to see them. This jacket is if you want a windbreaker that's a little bit more heavy duty and a bit more durable. Again, you're getting a chest pocket, so it's got a bit more kind of storage, and it stuffs into its own pack that you saw me get it out of. But if you get too hot on your windbreaker, rather than stopping, you know, every second counts when you're back of the pack, you can zip it down, buckle it at the top, and it lets some air in without the jacket flapping all over the place. So I love that kind of breathability aspect to it as well. I really like Salomon's attention to detail here. Little things like these little pull tassels at the bottom so you can cinch in the jacket, stop the wind getting in. You've got these breathable panels in the back system here, allowing breathability, but then this Octa insulation around your kind of like vital organs, keeping you nice and warm. So yeah, this is a good jacket. What else you need? So we need leggings. These are the Adidas Tech Fit leggings, and they will pass kit check. They go all the way down to your ankles. They're very comfortable to wear. They offer some compression, so if you're struggling with muscular injuries, these have saved my race. The spine race, when I put these on, I didn't want to take them off. They're another kind of budget friendly option as well. I think I maybe paid like £8 or £10 for them. You've got your beanie hat. I've got a Adidas Terex hat. It has a very breathable upper, and then it has like a fleece band. But the breathability at the top allows heat to kind of get out of your head. So it's a beanie that you can keep on for longer and kind of moderate your own temperature with. It also says buff, so get yourself a good buff and check the buff, because you can get some real cheap ones that are made by Buff, but they come with this extra UV protection. So I'd recommend getting a buff that says the Cool Max on it. Make sure it says UV high, and also says insect shield as well. Now these are my gloves that I'll be racing in to start the race off in, and you can see here that I'm not sponsored by any brand. This is just what I've tested and what I've grown to like. So the gloves that I'll be using are the Innovate Race Elite gloves, but they offer like an odd amount of warmth, and I found these to be more warm actually than some of the other gloves that are like twice as thick. I don't know how Innovate have done it, but they've just offered a really comfortable glove here that I've really enjoyed using. And because they're nice and thin, you've still got your dexterity of your fingers, especially when you're about to put them into a second pair of gloves. And these are the Salomon Bonatti gloves, and these have been fantastic. I've used so many waterproof gloves, even Innovate's waterproof gloves, and they're great, but the durability is terrible and they wet out really easy. And these have been my favorite waterproof gloves by Salomon. They're the Salomon Bonatti, and they pair really nicely with finger gloves. And I've actually found these to be the most waterproof gloves that I've tested. And if you're starting to get lost in all of the gear, I'm going to link it all down below. Not all of it's going to be an affiliate link. Obviously, if you purchase from Amazon, it will be. This is just genuine gear that I have been using. So if you purchase, for example, this is the next thing on the mandatory kit list, the waterproof trousers, then I'm not going to get a penny, but I highly recommend these. These are the OMM waterproof trousers, and they are fantastic. What I found with a lot of waterproof trousers, especially if you're short like me and get a size that fits you, is that they can be quite tight around the crotch. And talking to other runners that were suffering of similar issues, this seems to be like a male and female thing. With these OMM trousers, I bought true to size and I had no issues around my crotch. So if you want some waterproof trousers that don't give you horrific chafing and are comfortable to wear so that you're enticed to put them on, I recommend these. They're fully waterproof, highly durable, 2 years old, and they perform just as good as they did on day one. The last thing I'll say on clothing is a Buff headband, and why I always pack one of these is so that you can wear a head torch. Okay, so the next thing we're getting out of the red Salomon pack down there is the equipment, and again, this is just to help guide you with packing your kit, hopefully inspire you and give you some ideas. The first one that I love is the dog bowl. This is a dog bowl that you can get off Amazon for literally, I think I bought it for £1.50 or something, and have a bowl that's structurally sound. So let's say you get some soup at the aid station, you pour it up with hot liquid, it's not going to like collapse on itself, it's like fully erect. But when you're done, you can slap it down and shove it in your bag. So I love that I eat out of a dog bowl for my races, but I highly recommend you get yourself one. The next thing we'll get to is the cups, and what you can see here is two cups. We've got Harrier and we've got Salomon. Now they're both about the same price, about £7 to £8. With the Salomon, you're only getting 150 millilitres. They're nice and lightweight, but pretty useless. You're buying this to pass kit check. What I like about Harrier, you're getting 200 millilitres for the same price. So yeah, I recommend Harrier. Again, I'm not affiliated. This is just what I'm going to be using for my race. For the cup, make sure you bring a Harrier cup. You're going to get more value for your money compared to the Salomon. Okay, next for cutlery, obviously you can get yourself a spork, which is this thing here. But I tell you what, sporks cost money and they're not cheap. What I highly recommend you do, if you're a lover of Asian food like I am, I recommend getting yourself to Wasabi. Now, if you go to Wasabi, you can get yourself a fantastic meal for about £5–6. They'll give you a plastic fork, a plastic spoon, and a plastic knife that you can keep, which is what this is, and save yourself some money compared to buying a spork, and you get a scrumptious meal. So that's what you should do for cutlery. But enough of the boring stuff. What pack am I going to use? You've heard it a million times before. It's going to be the Salomon Advanced Skin 12. I've used the Salomon Advanced Skin pack for as long as I've been running, so a really long time. I like the durability, I like the lightweightness, I like the comfort of it. Everything about this pack is fantastic. So just popping it on the table, the new iteration not only comes with the back plate where you're going to shove all of your mandatory gear in, but it also comes with this top pocket here. So if you have got like a windbreaker or a coat, you can shove it in this top pack really easy and continue running. And you've got this on your bag, it's really easy to access your jacket and just pull it out, to be honest. So I like these extra compartments on the newer Advanced Skin 12. So just be careful when you're shopping on Vinted or eBay or trying to get yourself a deal. Make sure you get yourself the newer version of the Advanced Skin 12. There's 2 front zip pockets, which are these things here. Great for keys, mobile phones, your ID that you're going to need for this race, you know, your emergency money. You put your flasks in the top. They also have a flask holder to stop it bouncing out of the pack. It's just fantastic. What we'll also dive into later on in this video, in the top here, it has a quiver attachment. So I'll show you the quiver I've got and the poles that I'm going to be using. I will say if you are mid-pack to front pack, this is the way to go. Now, this isn't the pack for everyone, and actually last year when I ran the Arc of Attrition and got this buckle, I used a different pack. So what pack did I use? I used this one here, which is the Montane Gecko. So they both cost a very similar amount of money. The great thing about the Montane Gecko is this is about 20 litres, so it's massive. And if you are starting out in ultramarathon training, you're not going to be able to afford all of this super expensive £300 Salomon jackets. What I loved about this pack and using it last year for the Arc of Attrition is that I can fit all of that heavy gear in. And if you are a slower runner, sometimes you want to take more gear because you don't know how long you're going to be out there for. You might need that third change of clothes, or I don't know, maybe you're bringing a spare pair of shoes because you've got some foot issues. What I like about this bag is it gives you versatility. You still have these zip pockets on both sides and you have the bottle attachments and you have lots of adjustment on the front, and again a high capacity at the back here to get all of your stuff in. So next one's really important, and it's a mistake I've made actually. So make sure you take lots of these Salomon or Montane water bottles. You want lots of these soft flasks. So I recommend go soft flask, don't get yourself a bladder. I've been on too many runs where my friends' bladders exploded and then their only access to water has been compromised. So this offers you a lot of protection. If one goes bust, then you've still got others. So you need at least 1.5 litres, so get yourself at least 3 flasks, and I'm going to be taking 1 or 2 spares. On the spine race, I had 2 of these start to leak on me. So yeah, make sure if you are buying soft flasks, get yourself a Salomon or a Montane. I've not had these leak on me yet. I did try and cheap it out on Amazon and got myself whatever this is, and yeah, these explode. So don't save yourself the extra pennies. Get yourself a decent flask with a nice big opening as well, so they're easy to clean, as you can see here, and take spares, because if you lose your access to water, that's your race over. So the next thing you're going to need are 2 functioning head torches, and I've got 2 here by Fenix. I'm not too sure which one I'm going to be using yet, but if you have any questions about head torches, I've compared the Fenix to the Petzl to the silver head torches and gone into like the strengths and weaknesses of each one. What I do like about the 32 RT is that it's super lightweight and it offers a hybrid function. So you can open it up, you can pop this battery out, and you can chuck in 3 AAA batteries when my Fenix runs out. When you are buying a head torch, just make sure you look at the cost of batteries, because I bought myself a Petzl and I looked at the cost of batteries and realized I couldn't afford to meet kit check. So yeah, if you get yourself a hybrid head torch, and this is powerful, I think this goes up to 800 lumens. You're still getting lots of light, like you don't need more than 800 lumens for most scenarios. You can chuck some AAA batteries in there without having to spend, you know, 30 to 50 pounds on these Petzl R1 batteries and stuff like that. So that's the 32 RT, and this is the 65 RT version 2. So the next thing you'll need are 2 rear red lights, and we've got one here. This one's off Amazon. I think I paid maybe £4 for it, and this is the Run Hill one as well. You'll see a lot of runners use the Run Hill, and I think that's maybe like £7 to £8. The battery is really good on them. You get some advantages if you go cheapo Amazon. This is what I use for the spine race. You get actually a brighter rear light, so it's really bright, this one, and it's USB-C charging. And the battery, I mean, I've not charged this for 6 months, and as you can see, it's still working. The battery is a little bit harder to kind of replace on the Run Hill, but what I like about this is you've got the clip and this stays on your pack. You haven't really got to worry about it. Okay, so emergency survival bag. Thankfully, I've never had to use it, but I've taken it on every run, but also every training recce that I've gone to. So if I go out into the mountains, I'm going to take an emergency bivvy bag with me. This one, again, off Amazon for maybe £5 or £6. I highly recommend it. The next thing it says is emergency food, and I've just packed stuff here to kind of give you some ideas. And a bit of irony here as well, some John West fish. So I do recommend taking some actual food with you. So it's all well and good having gels. So right here, I've got Science in Sport. I've also got from Suffolk, these are the Buzz Power gels, which I highly recommend. If you like honey, these are natural raw honey to protect your gut if you're having gut issues, but also offer you energy and electrolytes. So yeah, Buzz Power. I've got here a pickup bar, which I used for my 17-mile run with Abby like 2 days ago. These are quite tasty. And yeah, I won't be taking fish with me, but make sure you pack something that's gonna like pick you back up and is like proper food. So maybe it's like a ham and cheese sandwich, you know, whatever kind of gets you back going. I would suggest you take that, especially if you're not racing for top 10, take a wrap, take a sandwich, something that's gonna get you out the mud if you need a pickup. The next thing you need is a whistle. This is a tiny whistle that comes in the small pack, but you can get all kinds of whistles. I do recommend Life Systems. Their big orange one is super loud and it's durable, and if you get hurt up in the mountains, or for this Arc of Attrition Cornwall coastal path, you fall off a cliff, make sure you've got a proper whistle on you and not just the whistle in your bag. Like, you need to be able to get attention. So yeah, I've also shoved a little bit of tissue in that I can pull out really easy. It's just there because as you can hear, it rattles. So if that's going to really annoy you, you can stop them by just putting a little bit of tissue in, but make sure it's easy for you to put it back out. And for base plate compass, we have two here. This is the one that I've had for like a decade. This is the silver compass. It's nice and small. Again, really affordable, like £8 or something, and it's good for kit check. It's nice and lightweight and it's not too crazy. But if I'm doing some proper map reading, so say if you're going to do the spine race, I would recommend getting a bigger one. Doesn't matter what brand, Silver do bigger compasses as well. This is the Sunto A30, so yeah, it's a nice big compass. You've got a magnifying glass on there so you can see stuff on the map. Again, check for ticks if you need to maybe. And just overall easier for making measurements because it's bigger. So yeah, when you're using this with an actual map, maybe opt for a bigger one. You've got the Expeditions by Silver, I think they look cool. And the last thing you need is your identification card. So yeah, whether it's your driver's license, your passport, whatever you're going to use for identification, for those unfortunate events that if you do get into trouble, someone's actually able to identify you and help you out. Another thing I'll be taking is a hat. This is again an Adidas Terex headwear. You can tell I like Adidas. They are a good brand. I'm not sponsored, I just buy it with my own money. What's good about this hat is it will keep the rain out if it's like a heavy rain day, but also you can scrunch it up and just again shove this in your pack and get it out and use it when you need to. Or maybe it gets soaked and you want to put it away, you can scrunch it up and chuck it into your Salomon pack. The next thing you need is a self-adhesive elasticated bandage, and this is something not to forget because they're actually quite hard to get hold of because it needs to be 100 centimeters by 6 centimeters. So I found those specific dimensions, especially when I was doing the Ultra Trail Snowdonia race by UTMB. I found the specific dimensions of this bandage to be really hard to locate, so make sure you sort this out and get it into your pack. So next up we have shoes. Just remember this is highly individual and this is just something that I'm going to be taking. It's what's worked for me. I've not decided specifically which pair I'm going for yet, but let's just dive into it. So first of all, if the weather is like last year, it's not too cold, you know, not too wet, not too rainy, I'm going to be taking the S-Lab Pulsars. These are surprisingly comfortable. They are fantastic shoes. Like, they're just the most comfortable like trail shoes I've owned. The lightweightness as well makes you feel like a pro athlete. Like, you just bounce in these. They've got lots of like sticky rubber on the bottoms. They've got the Salomon quick lace and the matrix weave as well. So just, yeah, durability, comfort, lightweightness. You can't beat a pair of shoes like this. And this is more really for your elite runners, but I highly recommend them. We have the Innovates. Let's go for the Trailfly. I used these for the second half of the Arc of Attrition last year. If you want to see my videos, literally I talk all about them, check them out. But these are the Trailfly by Innovate. They don't offer the most amount of cushioning, but their durability and their comfort in that toe box, I've opted for these quite often when I'm dealing with like toe issues. In terms of just comfort, if I want something to get me through the race, let's say I tweak a calf or a hamstring a few weeks before the Arc of Attrition UTMB race, I'll be taking the Salomon Genesis. These are just kind of like a highly cushioned, highly durable, comfortable ride. They come with the Salomon quick lace system, so they're really quick and easy to put on. They're quite aggressive in the toe box actually. I could do like a little bit more space, but just in terms of comfort, I've never had any issues with these. again, check out my review on the channel. And sorry to be salmon heavy, I actually am, as you can probably tell from this video, a big Nike fan, but I just don't have any Nike shoes on me at the minute. I tried the Trail Flies and they just weren't quite right. I didn't feel very comfortable in them. I really like Nike Wild Horse and I do recommend those. I just probably won't be using them for the Arc of Attrition. This is the Salomon DRX Defy. These are some gravel shoes. They haven't got the best grip for what we're doing here. These are gravel shoes. They're not for like the Arc of Attrition, but I've just not had any problems with them, and sometimes that's best. So yeah, they've not given me any like calf issues, no muscle injuries, no like weird toe problems. Yeah, I've been training in these recently to test them out for Salomon, and yeah, my body's been responding to them well, so I might choose to wear these. Again, it's gonna have to be dry weather for me to consider, but I just know that if I put these on, I'm not gonna have any, any serious issues with my feet. Woo! So we're now on to additional recommendations. If you've made it this far into the video, this is where you're gonna get some treats, and thank you for supporting the channel. I highly recommend a dry bag or waterproof bag, whatever you call it. This is worth its weight in gold. They're not very heavy, they're really durable, and they're going to keep your gear protected at all times and dry. So when you change your gear, you want dry gear. So the first thing I'm going to say, additional items, get yourself some compression socks. This is going to be the difference. If you are looking to finish the race, not get a good time, but finish like me, you want some compression socks. They're going to change the game for you and protect your fatiguing muscles over time. Honestly, I couldn't walk last year when I did the Arc of Attrition. When I put these on, it changed the game. My muscles started working again. That pain reduced from a 10 out of 10 down to like a 7, and I was able to, put one foot in front of the other. So get yourself some compression socks. What else have we got in this dry bag? This is the next treat for you. So it's the Salomon Quiver, and this has changed the game for me. I've raced the Spine race, for example, 268 miles without the Quiver. And having used this, I honestly feel so stupid because it's changed the game. So this attaches directly to your Salomon pack. You can stitch it if you want to onto your Montane pack. And yeah, you're gonna be able to keep your poles in here. These are some secret poles as well. I would say this is well worth the £25, whatever you can find it for, in terms of easeability to get those poles out like Robin Hood, 100% worth the money. Talking of poles, so when you've got the Quiver on your back and you pull out your poles, this is what I recommend. They're poles by Mountain Kin. These are their posh poles, I won't lie. Look how awesome they are. They fold down really nicely. These are the carbon ones though, and I did find that the durability on the carbon wasn't great. I do recommend for everyone to get their aluminium poles. So they're called the Mountain King Trailblaze. They look exactly like this. You can pick your color. You can go for black, blue, orange, whatever you fancy. They're the exact same as this, but made of aluminium. The durability is absolutely phenomenal. The comfort in the hand grip, again, awesome. And the weight, these only weigh like 105 grams or something. And if you unfortunately have to get the aluminium ones, again, they only weigh like maybe 120 grams. They might be less. I can't remember the exact amount of grams, but it's like not much in it. You get added durability, they're cheaper, and in my experience, the best poles that I've used. So the Trailblaze durability and functionality is like top notch. Really recommend these. They're a good British brand as well. So you're supporting I believe a Lake District brand. So check them out. Next thing is the Adidas Tech Fit shorts. So I did recommend the Adidas Tech Fit long sleeve trousers to pass kit check. They're super lightweight, but you can also get shorts, and I recommend just having these in your halfway drop bag, just something like that, because you just never know. I had in the Arc of Attrition last year, I changed all of my kit halfway in the race. I had a cup of coffee and accidentally spilled it all over me, and that was one set of gear completely drenched because of sweat. The next set of gear was completely drenched because of coffee. Just have a backup pair of shorts or something, and these are great. They really get you out of a sticky situation. If you're suffering from chafing, you can raw dog it and go commando in these, and that might help you as well. It just gives you some versatility, so I recommend those. Next thing, again, I'm not sponsored, these are the Red Bull glasses. They are fantastic. They're really stylish. I mean, look at these. Does this not look cool? This is where like my mate Abby will tell me I look like her dad. So yeah, tell me if these are cool or not, but they're really comfortable. They don't fall off of your face. When you're doing technical climbing on the Dunes of Doom, or you're doing UTS, whatever it is, they're going to stay on your head and not drop off. They're going to protect you from the sun. And also, I suffer from headaches, so they're going to protect you if you start to get headaches from that as well. And if you buy these from Sports Pursuit, and again, I'm not affiliated in any way, I think I bought them for like £12, like something stupid. So real Red Bull glasses, £12 or something off off of a Sports Pursuit website, so they've been really good for me. Next thing I recommend you get is some calf sleeves. So if you're someone who doesn't like to wear the full compression sock like I've showed you there, if you get calf sleeves, they're really kind of super lightweight. And this is a trick I don't want to share with anyone, but let's not gatekeep. I'm going to tell you what I do. So rather than pack both of these, what I'll do is, if I like to wear, for example, I have the Ultimate Performance Medical compression socks on, and as you can see, they haven't got any calf compression. Sometimes I'll just pack one sleeve. So it's in the back of my Salomon pack, a calf sleeve, and if I have any calf cramp or anything like that, I can take my bag off, get out my one calf sleeve and protect my leg. Next thing is Ziploc bags, and what is this for? This is for your iPhone. I do this all the time. I know Apple will tell you that your iPhone's waterproof, but I'm telling you it's not. It's waterproof up to a limit, and I've tested those limits, and you know, filming for this channel, I've broke too much of my gear. So don't trust this waterproof kind of thing that the manufacturer says. If you've got an iPhone and you're taking it with you, take a Ziploc bag and you can protect them. This is also good to put your headphones in. You know, it's a sandwich bag. You can get this for like 5p or something. Borrow one off of your granny, whatever you need to do, but they are so great. And speaking of bags, we also have a Tesco bag. So yeah, just a superstore bag, which to be honest, I tested in torrential rain in the spine race with the Sea to Summit dry bag, and this was just as effective. So as long as you kind of get all your gear in, scrunch it up and shove it in your bag, a plastic bag to save some money is going to do the trick. Another thing I recommend is the Endurance XP boxers. What are these? These are boxers that have been used by Zach Miller. Now, we'll have like a whole boxer and pants review coming to avoid chafing, but let's just say now that you can't go wrong with the Endurance XP. These are super expensive, but if you're someone who struggles with chafing, and I am the worst culprit, my chafing issues are, you know, I'm up there in terms of the demographic. Yeah, the Endurance XP have been a cool pair of boxers to try out. And what else have we got in here? This is a GoPro. So this is the last aspect of this section, additional items, but I just think you want to cherish those moments. You're going to do something really tough, and me looking back on some of my race vlogs has been a really kind of beneficial experience for me as a person and as an athlete. So this is a GoPro Hero 9. You can get these on eBay for like £50 now, like they're really cheap. I recommend get yourself one, chuck a memory card in and record some aspects if you can. We have a medical bag, so I'm testing out this Ultimate Performance medical bag. One issue I had with the Arc of Nutrition last year with crew is that I had a lot of medical things all in different places. So yeah, I do recommend, if you have like asthma like I do, if you've maybe got medication that you're going to be taking, I always suffer with problems with my knees and things like that, keep it all in one place so that your crew member, if you're having issues, say grab the bag. So yeah, you can pack stuff in there like ice packs. You got the salt tablets here as well, so if you're struggling with like electrolyte imbalances, I do recommend a Sharpie. What this is really good for, I learned on the spine race, is that if you're given medication, someone can just write the time on your wrist and say, you know, paracetamol at 6 o'clock PM, and it just lets you know when you're tired and fatigued when you can take your next dose without taking unnecessary risks. I also recommend, as well as a Sharpie pen, some alcohol gel as well. And at times where I've like gone to like scrape my knee and realised I've got like mud or like cow's poo on my leg, and like you've got it on your fingers, just have a way to clean your hands, especially if you're about to go into your medical bag. What are some of the things I'd recommend packing to take with you? And obviously this is a bit excessive. I'm not sure how much of this I will be taking, but this is just to help inspire and give you some ideas. So first of all, in here, I do recommend make sure you pack some tape. This is a game changer, and also you need to know how to apply tape. So watch some YouTube videos. It will literally take you like 2 to 3 minutes. Pack some tape that's pre-cut and ready for you to strap onto your knee and you're good to go. But take an extra roll of tape in case you get through loads of it, and pack some scissors as well. As I said, don't forget your medication. One massive mistake I made in the Arc of Nutrition last year is I forgot my inhaler, and I spent a good kind of like hour not being able to like breathe properly. It's something that I'm used to, and it's something that I managed and I know how to manage, but there were other people racing with me who were like, are you okay? Like, what's going on? You sound like you're dying. I just had to reassure them, look, I've got asthma, I'm gonna be okay, but this is why I sound like I'm dying. So don't forget your asthma pump. I had it with me, it's just I didn't know what bag it was in, and that's why I again recommend stick it all in one place. If you've got anything medical, I had Abby looking for that asthma pump for a good couple of hours. Eventually she found it. Pack some like calf sleeves, some emergency socks. These are the support socks. Whether you're going to use it during the race or after the race, just make sure you've got that support stuff with you. So just to show you some other things that I took the Arc of Attrition last year and like saved my race. This is a knee brace, £15 from Tesco, but it really saved my bacon. So without this knee strap last year, I wouldn't have finished the Arc of Attrition. So get yourself whatever you think you have issues with, like make sure you've got it sorted. If you're planning on using running poles and maybe you get elbow problems, pack yourself an elbow sleeve. This is just a cheap elbow sleeve in case I have those problems. And these are all those 1% kind of change that you can do in terms of your prep to improve the chances of you finishing that race. What else have we got here? We've got a massage ball. Now you might be laughing at me, but I've taken a massage ball to every race I've ever done and they've changed the game. Again, if your knee locks out or whatever you're having problems with, your hip. I had people at the spine race laughing at me when I whipped one of these out, and I also whipped out a foam roller as well. But people were asking to borrow it, and boy was it hard to get them back because they work. When you're in pain, get yourself a massage ball. Pack some spare anti-chafe cream, whether it's Skrill's nut butter. This is some cheap stuff off of Amazon I got. I actually don't recommend this. It's like not great. Get yourself Skrill's butter, but you know, pack yourself spare in case you run out. Wet wipes, let's not talk about it. We've got Vaseline on every ultra I've ever done. I've got like chapped lips from just like the wind just drying my lips out. Pack Vaseline for your lips, but also get those big tubs of Vaseline. Again, if you've got any chafing burns, Vaseline is great to protect those injuries. Again, this seems excessive, but if you have a crew member and you're going to stop for a few seconds and you're dealing with an injury, a blade. Now, I'm not a medical doctor, so don't take my advice on this, but I just know what I do. If there is a bit of an issue that I need sorting out, I might just whip out a massage blade tool to help with those issues. And you can get stuff like massage balm as well. So yeah, all of this stuff, it just depends what you have problems with. So again, like I said, I will 100% be taking a foam roller with me. Now, unfortunately this year I don't have crew, so I'm not going to have the luxury of taking this on the actual race like I did last year, but I will be having it for the hotel room after. So yeah, if you can pack a massage foam roller, this can change the game, and get yourself a spiky one that can really help you out. You don't want one of those weak massage foam rollers. You want a proper aggressive spiky one to like deal with the issue. If you get something wherever it is on the body, this has fixed me. What other stuff we've got here? Ultimate Performance have sent me some heat rub. I'm going to test that out again. I don't know how good that is for massaging. These are feet warmers, but I'm going to be packing lots of hand warmers, especially in my drop bag. We've got here some Amp Human. This is bicarbonate cream, and as I've said, I've really struggled with injuries throughout my training history. I started using this bicarbonate cream, and maybe it's placebo in my head. Like, I'm not a sponsored athlete. I only use it. It's so expensive for races and for really hard training sessions, but I put this on and it just gives me that sense that I'm going to be okay and that I might be able to squeeze out like an extra 1% of performance or something. So yeah, I recommend this PR lotion to get your PB. Obviously, a first aid kit is very useful to have in your medical bag, so get yourself a first aid kit. Just make sure it is specific to what you need or what you might think your group might need. You're not just looking out for you as a runner, but your crew members. Yeah, kind of like sort yourselves out, but also to be in a position to help. So last year, as I said, I didn't have a medical bag and we lost my paracetamol. She had to ask other crew members to lend us some paracetamol. Again, I was dealing with my knee issue. I didn't have it all in one place. So organisation, get yourself a bag that it can all be in one place, and make sure you've got redundancy plans and extras of whatever you think you might need. The next section is cold weather, and I am really excited about this. I've been praying for cold weather. I hope it's absolutely brutal so that I get the competitive advantage over you. I won't lie. For some reason, I seem to thrive in those like tough conditions better than if they're easier. So yeah, I'm hoping it's really cold. These are some things I recommend. First things first, get yourself some waterproof socks. It's just so nice to be able to step into a puddle and not get your feet absolutely soaked after you've spent, 10 minutes putting your trench foot cream on and, taking care of them for months. This just offers a extra level of protection. These are the seal skin. sealskins, and yeah, some people, is it Dry Max? I don't really know. These sealskins I've got with my own money and they've been really effective. Durability's been great. They still smell fresh somehow. Yeah, I recommend them. Get yourself some waterproof socks. They are a game changer. Next thing we've got here is the other base layers I showed you are polyester. This is merino wool. So if it's cold weather gear, I get my rab out. This is a merino wool. But what's nice about merino wool, it is antibacterial, it's super lightweight, and it's warmer than polyester. Next thing are Nike trousers. Get yourself some Nike Trail trousers for the cold weather gear. I know it's not part of the kit check, but if it really is brutal Arctic conditions at the Arc of Attrition or whatever race you're doing, these trousers are going to make that race enjoyable and pleasant. You're still going to get all the flexibility you'd expect from, you know, leggings or shorts, whatever you like to run in. They don't feel restrictive at all. And just a top tip as well, so these Nike Trail trousers, they're basically exactly the same as the football trousers that Nike do. So just go to a Nike store. If you can find anything reduced, I'd say get it. If they're the Nike trousers, they usually come with a zip pocket. They're like a tech fit and they've always been great for me. Next, we've got an Adidas hat here. What's unique about this one is it has a hard peak now. So this again is for real bad conditions. If it's really terrible, I want a hard peak that can't bend in the wind. And this hat is actually waterproof as well. So it's going to help maintain that core body temperature. Yeah, if the weather's really brutal. Next thing I learned the hard way in the spine race, I was looking over everyone when we started the spine and I was like, what is everyone wearing on the ankles? And they have these little things on, and these things are actually called gaiters. So I didn't know these things existed really until I did the spine race and suffered, again, horrific foot pain from all the stones and cobbles that got into my shoes. These are the Montane Via gaiters. They attach to any pair of shoes. They have elastic bands at the bottom. As you can see, they snap straight away. But if this is a race that you really want to finish, I would say invest in some gaiters. I do recommend these. They protected me, although they're not very durable. They get the job done. Again, if it's cold weather, I'm going to change my glove situation. So rather than starting in those lightweight gloves that I showed you earlier, we've got some more heavy duty ones here. And I recommend if it is cold, and I'm talking like less than 0 degrees Celsius, I'm switching from fingered to mittens because that's going to keep your fingers and your hands warm. These are the Innovate Polytech. I've tested these up to minus 11 degrees and that's about their limit. I won't lie. They are not waterproof. I found that out the hard way as well. And I bought myself some sealskins. So these are great at keeping you warm. But what you really want are some sealskins. These are mittens. A top tip, because these are expensive, size up. The sealskins, I don't know what's going on with their sizing. They're absolutely horrendous, but yeah, get a size up from whatever you are. And these are mittens, they're waterproof and they're thermal as well. So yeah, get yourself mittens, waterproof, and I recommend the brand Sealskins. I've tested other versions, but this is what I'll be taking to the Arc of Attrition. And the last part of this section is protective eyewear. And honestly, I used to be one of those, what do I need eyewear for, when I did the spine race and you know, I didn't really know what I was in for. When the wind picks up and let's say you're on a trail and there's like rocks being flown everywhere and rain blasts into your eyes, it gets to a point where you can't actually see without protection. So yeah, you probably won't have to use these, but if you do, it's really going to save you. I've also had some issues with my eyes because of the cold and the wind. So it doesn't have to be rocks and things being pelleted into your eyes, but it's also the cold and the wind that I just stop being able to see. Your eyes get fatigued, you're watering, and I just can't focus anymore. So yeah, if you start to struggle with vision, these are going to protect you. So you want some proper safety goggles, again, like £3 off Amazon. They're really lightweight and they're going to like protect your race and make sure you have a good day. And if you want to look sexy, you can get yourself some cycling glasses, and look how horrific these are. But what you can do, these are really cheap ones off Amazon, again, like £7-8, but they come with multiple lenses. So I've switched the lens out and put a clear lens in. You still get a nice wide field of view, but you've got the clear lens so you can use these at night if weather really gets bad. So yeah, get yourself some cycling glasses, pop the clear lens in. These were really cheap off Amazon, links down below. So for my high loft jacket, I'm going to be taking the Mountain Equipment particle jacket. It's a jacket that's issued employed as a part of a Go Ape staff member, so again, somewhere where I used to work. As you can see, it's packed into its own pocket. I'd say it's slightly chunky, but to be honest, unless you're going to spend, you know, £600 on a Patagonia jacket, this is quite small. It does compress smaller. It's not great for the Salomon Advanced Pack 12. Yeah, you'll be squeezing this in, but if it's cold weather, I guess you'll be wearing it, and it does squeeze in. You can make it happen or shove it in that top pocket of the Salomon. And obviously, if it starts to pack up all of this cold weather gear and the conditions are really bad, then I might personally switch to the Montane Gecko and use that again. But I'm trying to avoid that this year because it's so easy to overpack with that bag. But yeah, this is the particle jacket. I love it because it's just so comfortable. It fits my build quite well, which is nice. So you can see it here. It's really warm. And I've actually tested it for the summer spine race. So for that 268-mile race, I was wearing this when it got cold at night, when I was trying to get a bit of sleep. This jacket really did save my bacon, and I've fallen in love with it since. So yeah, it's a piece of equipment that was issued to me through work, but it was bright blue. It had the Go Ape logo on it. So I've actually bought this with my own money, and I absolutely love the jacket. The zip quality is really smooth. It's great. And yeah, the hand warming pockets are comfortable. The hood is comfortable. It's lightweight. It's hybrid as well. So it's not thick where it doesn't need to be. As you can see under my arms here, it's got like a polyester material. So again, quite a breathable jacket for exercise as well. There's your high loft jacket. I absolutely love it. It's wonderful. Another good option is the Harrier jacket, which I recently tested on this channel. Feel free to check that out. But yeah, this is much better in terms of quality and yeah, functionality as well. So, and not much more price. I mean, this one cost me about £90. From sports shoes, I've seen these for £70 without the hood. So I recommend go for this. It's better quality than Harrier, and it's going to last you longer, I think, looking at the stitching and having used it heavy duty through work as well. I'm really impressed with this jacket, and it's affordable. So that's the jacket I recommend. Other things I recommend, zip ties. So they do mention, look at this, it could be useful to have like a needle and thread to repair your gear. I've gone for the zip tie option. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna be sewing my gear. I was chasing cut-offs last year. So if anything snaps on my pack, zip ties, they're my little secret. And the last thing I'll say is a dry robe. Last year I got hypothermic, so when I finished the race, just all of a sudden, my core temperature dropped because I wasn't working out anymore. And I was struggling not to, yeah, like really badly shiver. Abby had her dip with her, and what I like about this one is it's like lightweight, but it's super warm, super comfortable. It's waterproof. I really like what the brand stands for as well. They're like a small business. Unlike Dry Robe, who again, they're a really cool brand, but I just like this cute small business dip, and they offer really cool robes. So this is another part of equipment that I would, you know, look on Vinted and get yourself a really cheap dry robe for when you finish the race. If you have got crew that can chuck you in one of these when you get to different checkpoints, yeah, that's gonna just stop your core temperature dropping, and you don't care about getting them muddy. They wash easily and quickly, and they're really functional, and your crew members can use them too. So get yourself a robe that's, yeah, insulated. If you've got crew members, this is going to be a lifesaver. And even if you're doing what I'm doing, driving to the race, parking up, no crew, I'll leave this in my bag so that when I finish and get my trophy and stuff, I can put this on and just make sure that I can look after myself when I finish that race. Because yeah, I haven't got Abby this year. Yeah, get yourself a robe.